Come on, let's go. Redbull Caugt cheating. Yes, I will qualify that comment later. 2024 Redbull Caugt cheating. I will qualify that. Now, let us start from last year. How did Redbull start? They started strong. They had two strong cars. As you can see, the first race, Bahrain, it was Max Verstappen. Sergio Perez takes Arabia. Max takes Austria. Azerbaijan, Perez takes it. When this happened, during the race, Josh Verstappen did request that the drivers be swapped, but Red Bull did not swap the drivers. I knew right there that Perez has put himself in trouble. I knew that was the end of Perez. You would never hear from him again. And I went to one of the Formula One groups that I'm part of on Facebook, and I commented the same thing. I said, well, Red Bull either slow down Perez's car or deliberately be sabotaging his car. Well, as usual, those who are in the Max camp didn't take it lightly, didn't take it very well. You know, if you are one of them, you know what response you can give. It's the same response that I expect down in the comments. So just come, speak, comment, say whatever you want to say. Now, when this happened, I said, let me show you. I couldn't find the original group where I posted this, but I just found another group where I talked about it. Let me show you. There it is. Do you see that? I said in one of the groups, I did say it. And really, it happened according to what I said. Where was Perez? They're saying, no, the car is 40. Oh, no, what? Someone, at one point, I posted in one of the groups, and they said, well, did Red Bull crash the car in qualifying? I said, listen, what was the complaint Perez gave? He said the car is undrivable. Who is responsible for that? It's the team. So if the team sabotages the car so that it will not be competitive, what do you expect? Do you see that? So Red Bull knew that if they have to win the title, they have to get one driver do it. And that's what they did. That's what I mean by them getting caught cheating. And of course, people, or rather the Formula One world, fooled. Look at everyone. They were all fooled. The commentary team, they couldn't say, they were blind. All they could say is Max is driving the car well. He's managed to tame the car, but Perez has failed. No, my dears. Red Bull knew what they were doing. Probably they had a secret meeting to say what was going to happen. And that is what I also say, that they did what they engineered the records. All those records Max broke last year, they were all engineered by taking one driver out. Look at the beginning. They were exchanging. This one wins, the other one second. They were exchanging. You see that? Had they left Perez have an eco machinery, forget about all those records Max had. Not even Sky Sport commentary team could really understand what was going on. They couldn't even say anything. If they had suspicions, they couldn't say it, because let's go to the drivers. The drivers, even themselves, they thought, oh well, he's driving. My dears, yes, he had a good car, but the driving was all about the team giving one driver the headway. May came and everything changed. There it is. You can see it. You can see it. You can see it for yourself. What did I tell you? What did I tell you? So towards the end, there was an issue. Red Bull saw that Lewis was coming so fast that he was going to overtake Perez in no time. So what they did is they had to engineer. What did they do? Yep, they tried to give Perez an eco car just to avoid Lewis to overtake him in the points and get the second place. So the team said, they are going to try to help Perez, blah, 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 to get a second position. They knew what they were doing. So what did they do? They made sure that Perez gets an equal or just a bit less below Max so that he will still not tamper with the records that they wanted to engineer. Perez got food, or rather he knew. I mean, you should just be suspicious. How can they say they tried to help you? Why didn't they help you in May, June, July? But towards the end, when they see that Red Bull wants another engineered record to finish 1-2, because they had never done it before. So what do? They started making sure Perez's car is on par. Let's go. All right, we know what happened. At this point, their car couldn't just work. Then the other races, they were back. Do you see that? You see that? So that's it. These are all the races. So Red Bull was caught cheating, engineering the speed of a car, engineering race wins, records, breaking force records, fooling everyone, so that everyone thought it was Max who was doing it. No, he wasn't doing it by himself. They got rid of a competition during that race when it was suggested that Red Bull swap the cars. Max was literally failing to catch Perez. At times, Perez would even be pulling away. Do you see that? So Max, with a teammate with eco machinery, is a different story. His greatness simply vanishes. Do you see that? Look at the clashes. Look at 2021, another engineered record that Max won the final race. Everyone knows Fia knew, admitted wrong by firing the one who was in charge. Do you see that? That's an admission of wrong. Instead of cancelling those results, they couldn't. They engineered a force world championship win. Now, all teams, they could learn something like this kind of cheating. Look at Mercedes when they were dominant. They could have broken all the records. But why did they not break all the records? Rosberg and Hamilton kept clashing into each other. That is what happened. They kept taking each other out. Mercedes let the drivers have equal machinery and no team orders, let them race. We can see even other teams. They have no issue of trying to give one driver a stronger car. Look at Ferrari. The same thing happens there. They let the drivers race. But with a few team orders. Now let's come to Red Bull. You know the story. You can see now what happened, that they literally did it themselves. Now this year, we're talking about this year. Now let us look at a clip when Max got his first win. Let's look at the same clashes that I'm talking about. Look at this. Do you see that? Did you see that? You see that? That's what I'm talking about. Max benefiting from Nico and Lewis colliding. So all those collisions made Mercedes not break records. The record Red Bull broke last year, it was held by Mercedes. And had Mercedes not allowed this to happen, had Mercedes at this point during all these races, had they been selecting or just giving orders as whoever is on pole or whoever is in front of the other must keep that position because you've earned it during qualifying, so you stay in front. If all teams could have such, well, it may take the fun away, it may take the racing out, and it will be boring because we want to see racing. So let's come to the statement that I said 2024 Red Bull getting caught cheating. Is Red Bull going to do the same dirty game they did last year? If any of the other teams are real challenges this year, they improve their cars and Red Bull is in the fight, I think they will still do it. But for them not to do it is for you people to talk and really look at Red Bull with that eye to say, I'm watching you, so that they don't tamper with Perez's car. They let the two drivers have the equal machinery. Then the other statement I would want to make is, if Mercedes is really a challenge this year, and it's between Red Bull and Mercedes, I tell you the truth, the title may not go to Max or Lewis, because these two, they'll be colliding. They'll be busy colliding and letting other drivers win. Whoever will always be third position, that person, that driver is going to be taking the wins. So the win may be, the championship may either go to Russell, Perez, Leclerc, or Carlos. Do you see that? This is a genuine assessment of Formula One. To be a great Formula One driver, you must have a car under you. Without a car, you are nothing. Do you see that? So there it is. There you have it. Last year, everyone was food. I wasn't food. I mean, the whole Formula One world was food. I wasn't. That I saw what was going on. If these three teams are on top and they are fighting for the championship, you cannot let, for example, Max always finishing in front of Perez, and then you have Lewis and Russell exchanging wins. You have Carlos and Leclerc exchanging wins. They are giving it to who? Max. Simple as that. Teams need to learn. If you have three teams in a fight, or even two teams in a fight, have one driver. So this year's winner will be a team that is going to play team orders and say, look guys, we need this championship. One of you is going to be sacrificed. You have to be finishing after. You have to be finishing behind the other. Clean. Do it cleanly like that. And this is what I'm just saying. All right, I know I got your blood boiling and tempers high, but we're going to end on a rather funny note. We know what happens with F1 drivers. They sneak to look at their competitors, the opposition's car. Look at Lewis and Bottas. But the funny part is, look at Bottas. That is the most funny thing I've ever seen in Formula One. Now, are we going to see more of this? Now, let's look at this clip about Seb. And this is mostly, we see this all the time. Let's go.